United States Congressman Jim McDermott introduced a so-called conflict minerals bill to Congress on Thursday. The bill aims to ensure that the trade in minerals does not finance the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The proposed legislation creates a system of audits and declarations to distinguish imports to the U.S. that may contain conflict minerals.
The Conflict Minerals Act is carefully written to work for businesses in this globalized economy and to help the victims of violent groups. It says that companies who import goods containing conflict minerals into the United States must say so. They can do it, it just has to say so. The process for audits that's in the bill is designed to help industry to do their part. The bill will create transparency and allow consumers to make informed choices. It will make it easy for Americans to vote for peace, not for war in the DRC.
The Washington-based Enough Project has just published a paper on how Congo's minerals are fueling conflicts in the region. Joining us now is the co-author of the paper, Sasha Lezhnev, Executive Director of the Grassroots Reconciliation Group. Welcome to the show, Sasha.
Thank you very much, Vincent.
Now, in your report, it's clear that, in fact, the minerals in Congo did not spark off the conflict, but they become central to that conflict. How is that so?
Well, it's tragic with so much good news coming out of Africa these days that we still have a phenomenon that's similar to the blood diamonds in Sierra Leone and Angola with conflict minerals in Congo. And even though the war wasn't started because of the conflict minerals problem, the minerals, which are the three T's, tin, tantalum, tungsten, as well as gold, are now acting as a fuel that feed the fire of the conflict.
Now you say that anybody who has a cell phone, an MP3 player, any video game could in fact indirectly be funding the conflict in Congo. Can you explain that?
Well, as a matter of fact, that's true. So the four minerals that we talked about are actually used in cell phones, laptops, MP3 players, and digital cameras. They go on the inside and perform key functions inside those components. And so we did a lot of research on this issue over the last year and discovered that the armed groups in Congo actually make over $180 million from this trade every year.
So what can any individual do? What can electronic companies do to stop this flow of conflict minerals from Congo?
Well, despite the tragedy that's going on in Eastern Congo today, the good news is that anyone who's interested as an activist or a constituent can actually take action on this issue. Anyone who has a cell phone or a laptop can write to their companies and demand that they produce a conflict-free phone or a conflict-free laptop. And through the Raise Hope for Congo campaign, which I'm working together with the Enough Project, you can go onto our website, www.raisehopeforcongo.org, and you can reserve a conflict-free phone and demand that these companies make them.
How realistic is that, Sasha? Look, everybody wants to own a cell phone. Across the continent of Africa, people are just scrambling to have a cell phone or two. How realistic is it that somebody is going to make this kind of demand when their priorities are just in owning one of these gadgets?
Well, here in the U.S., the movement on this issue among consumers and constituents is building tremendously. I speak out at campuses across the country. I was just in the University of Tennessee, and we had 3 overflow rooms full of hundreds and hundreds of students. I also speak to electronics companies. We just had a big meeting with them out in San Francisco, and this is now the #1 issue in terms of corporate social responsibility on their minds. And we're now working together with them to actually trying to figure out how we can produce that conflict-free phone. So I do think within a year, we can actually get a conflict-free phone going.
Some say the key to stopping all this is to have a strong government in Kinshasa that will take control of the mineral trade and make sure that nobody is going to be benefiting from conflict minerals. What do you say?
I think our main aim with this entire campaign is to have peace in Eastern Congo. That's the #1 aim. And the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo has a strong role to play in that, as do the companies, from the electronics companies all the way down to the tin and the tantalum and the tungsten trading companies who can work through their supply chains. And we think that both the companies and the government, as well as the regional governments, Uganda, Rwanda, can help contribute to a process of certification whereby the companies and the governments can trace, audit, and certify the minerals so that they are conflict-free, and we can monitor that process with a verification.
Briefly, can you give a case in point where this has succeeded, say diamond trade and any other?
Absolutely. Well, the Kimberley process for conflict diamonds is a good model. We need to build on the lessons of the Kimberley process. There's been a few holes in the Kimberley process that have, made conflict diamonds come through a few times, and so we need to make sure to build on those lessons. But basically, we would like to have a certification process and need companies and governments behind that.
Thank you. I want to thank you very much. And that is Sasha Lezhnev, who's the executive director of this is what it's called the Grassroots Reconciliation Group here in Washington, D.C.
Thanks so much,
very
Vincent.
much.